Hello. We will be having a discourse on the book entitled Christ in You. And today, April 18th, 2021, we'll start with the first lesson, A Voice from the Heights. Friend, would you like to read the first paragraph?
Yes, first lesson, A Voice from the Heights. I am obligated to use your words and modes of expression, but I must say at the beginning that they are wholly inadequate to convey spiritual truths. I long to help people who seem to be in the same mistaken conditions in which I once was, for man does not know himself.
So, I believe in this section, he's suggesting that he wants to help us know who we truly are as spiritual beings. And let's find out more.
Yeah, it looks like there is one Bible verse here in that first sentence.
Uh-huh. Would you like to read that?
Yeah, let me pull that up here. All right. So that first verse, it's like a 1 Corinthians 2.
Yes.
All right. So what no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and what no human mind has conceived.
Interesting. So the reference is that he's not able to convey the truth because we have no way of knowing them or experiencing them. And this book was written back in the early 1900s, and people are now having near-death experiences, and they come back with pretty interesting ideas about what the life is like after death. And this is, I think, what this book is all about too, about being a spiritual being, enjoying a spiritual experience. Okay, so we will consider together some of the truth of being, the most essential and first of all things. You are not the outward and visible form. This is the feeblest and the most distant likeness of your real self. I'll explain by illustration. And so I'm just going to interrupt myself there and say that we will be also bringing in information from A Course in Miracles, which is a book of self-study. And one of the things that this book of self-study makes very important, and it's a basis for the book, is that we are not our bodies. So, in fact, in A Course in Miracles, they say that Course in Miracles says that we are not our bodies, we are spirit, and in fact, A Course in Miracles says the body is not real. So, in the lesson 199 from A Course in Miracles, it says, I am not a body, I am free, because I am still as God created me. And it talks about the body being a limit and a little fence around freedom. And it is a vehicle to help forgiveness be extended to others according to God's plan. Okay. So would you like to continue, friend?
All right, so we will look at paragraph 2 then.
Yeah, 3.
When an artist paints a picture, he does not put on canvas the reality. He gives you simply a copy of that which is within himself. The real picture is on the spiritual plane and exists there much more truly than on the canvas. The real picture remains forever. The canvas does not. No poet can give you his true poem. He does his best to convey something of its beauty, something of its life, but even then it is far removed from the ideal. That too is on the plane of reality.
So no person can really convey the beauty of the life that he found after he left his body. I believe this passage is saying, and that it's very hard to express the beauty of the plane of the real world. Did you want to add anything to that, friend?
Yeah, Angel, that is a really good one. That's an interesting, because it seems like he's saying, well, there's something real, but it's real on a different plane, on the higher plane. And what we see is just a shadow of what is really there.
Right, right. Good. So would you like to read on?
Surely, that there is a vast amount of creative energy working in and through the material plane. Like the picture and the poem, this energy is invisible to you. We want you to distinguish between reality and shadow. The physical plane, or plane of the senses, is a shadow, a faint imitation of the spiritual and the only real. Your work is to show forth higher laws, to live and breathe entirely from the plane of spirit, to create anew from the very center of all life, to make one the kingdom of earth and the kingdom of heaven. Did you have any thing you wanted to add, Angel?
So what I was going to say is that A Course in Miracles teaches us that the entire plane, this plane of existence, is an illusion. So this whole physical plane is a shadow and an illusion, and that we need to bring to ourselves the belief that this is so we can see through the illusion to truth. And I think this is exactly what is being said here as well. Nothing that we see in this universe is real. Okay. Do you want to read on?
Yeah. So see. Your work is to show forth higher laws, to live and breathe entirely from the plane of spirit, to create anew from the very center of all life, to make one the kingdom of earth and the kingdom of heaven. You are not to think of yourself and the universe now visible to you as real.
Right.
It is this that constitutes the difference between us.
Mm-hmm.
So he's saying that it's not real what we're thinking we're seeing. There's more.
Yes, there's much more than that. And, A Course says this world of perception, in the introduction to the Course, it says this world of perception, on the other hand, is a world of time, of change, of beginnings and endings. It's based on interpretation, not on facts. It's a world of birth and death, founded in the belief of scarcity, loss, separation, and death. And it is learned rather than given. So we learned this world rather than we were given this world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's unstable in functioning, inaccurate in interpretation. So that's quite the way to think of the world. So would you like to read on?
Yes. So not to think of yourself and the universe now as but you as real. It is this that constitutes the difference between us. We have entered into a larger consciousness of God, whereas you are content with the shadows of things. Just think how all your finest thought seems to vanish with the passing of great minds from your midst. Yet this is not the case, as you will discover when you awake to the knowledge of a life that ever progresses from the unreal to the true.
Mm.
When this consciousness permeates the whole human race, you'll be lifted to a higher plane where the growth is simply a higher consciousness.
So we have to grow to a larger consciousness, and that's, well, there's a couple things about this. Certainly in A Course in Miracles, that is true. And the basic 3 lines that sum up A Course in Miracles are, nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists, and herein lies the peace of God. So basically the first line is, nothing real can be threatened. So the world that the anonymous author is writing from can't be threatened. And the world that we live in is unreal, so it doesn't really exist. That's the second line. And the third line is, herein lies the peace of God. So it's this 1,000-page book is summarized into 3 lines, and the Course in Miracles. And that if we can understand this, we will find the peace of God. And I think that's very appropriate for this paragraph that we just read. That when we can understand the consciousness of truth, growth will happen and we will graduate to a larger consciousness. Yeah. So do you want to read on?
Now, heaven is not a place, but a consciousness of God.
Mm-hmm.
That's a powerful sentence.
It's very, very powerful. Yeah.
I think that's really a powerful one, because that's saying essentially heaven is accessible to any one of us because it's a consciousness of God that we can tap into. If we realize this Christ consciousness is within us, then essentially we're putting ourselves in the kind of consciousness that is the greater truth. That is really tapping into heaven right here and now.
Right. Although they're calling heaven not a place but a consciousness. So it's pretty important for us to get our consciousness right, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
If heaven is a consciousness and we're living in an illusion that doesn't make any sense, it seems pretty far away from us to be able to tap into that consciousness of God.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons why we're doing this, right, friend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's absolutely.
So God can't be thought of as a personality, since God is all in all. The absolute is above and beyond conception of the finite mind, yet infinitely meek and lowly, filling all space. As you emerge into the all-pervading love, the true life becomes manifest and is always the answer to the deepest and highest aspirations of the soul. It is love fulfilling itself. Thank God for now. Thank God for now, I believe, means that we're starting the process of learning how to fill space with love and emerge into a loving consciousness to manifest our aspirations to connect with God. Did you want to add anything to that, friend?
Thank God for now. Thank God for now. So I think that's saying it. We're here now. That's what matters. That now point is always where the center of everything is. Like that's where our consciousness then needs to be to God, and we can have that sense that in any time.
Yeah, focus on that now and bring our consciousness to that now and start to learn. Well, it says, learn first and thoroughly that you have been and will be forever. So we didn't start with this life. We have a long history. Our life didn't start with this body. And we will be and have been continuing on. So it's important for us to learn to connect with the consciousness and allow it permeate us so that we can wake up to what is unreal and start the process of coming back home to what is true. Yeah. Because this is a forever journey. It's not going to be over tomorrow. So might as well do it in a way that makes us grow when we're here to live, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to read that last line on page 5?
Your present condition is an opportunity for spiritual advancement. Make the most and the best of your life now.
Make the most and the best of your life now. Amen. So I think there was a couple of Bible verses that were appropriate in this, or did we not? Okay, very good. So did you want to read that one last Bible verse that was important to the chapter? I think it was 14.
Yeah, so it's like 14 is, the person without the Spirit does not accept the things that come from the Spirit of God, but considers them foolish and cannot understand them because they are discerned only through Spirit.
Yeah, we have all things inside us. We're all spirit. And we need to accept that first. I think this verse says that we need to accept that we are spirit so that we can hear the information, the things that come from spirit. Yeah. So I think that's an important thing for people who want to read this book and join us in our discussions. We'll be having another discussion next week, God willing, that they need to understand that they are spirit and consider themselves spirit and have an open mind and an open heart to this information that we're assimilating out there. Well, very good. Thank you for joining me today, friends, and we'll talk to everyone next time. Lots of love from Angel.
Yeah, that's great. That's really a lot to really just absorb.
Yes, it is. Indeed. So we'll see you next time.
All right, next time.
Bye now.